Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Council on Future Conflict. My name is Scott. I am the proprietor of the Future Conflict channel. Today, we're talking about stuff in your neighborhood, and China is still asshole. Uh, breaking. China is still asshole. Joe, how are you?
There we go. I'm better now after I just cracked open the first monster of the day. You know what? I'm not bad. Someone donated an entire moose to the food pantry. So later today, we're going to have fun diving into how to process a moose and how to do the various cuts of meat on a moose. So that's going to be cool. But I'm betting it's probably a good 600 to 800 pounds of meat. So that's actually pretty cool. That'll go a long way in feeding at-risk veteran families throughout the months of November and December. So that's very, very, very cool. And we've just gotten a couple of big donations of turkeys from biggest one from our friends at the Montana Legends Motorcycle Club and Harvest Foods. I know you have both been at the good old Harvest Foods and hung out there with us and
Yeah.
the funnest maintenance guy or floor sweeping guy on the planet, the old guy who works there. So anyway, very happy to get those things, and I want to thank Big Fork Harvest Foods and Montana Legends Motorcycle Club for donating a bunch of turkeys to our cause. Pretty cool stuff. I also met with the after the show on Monday. I met with a local minor league baseball team that I didn't even know existed, called the Kalispell Range Riders. It's a minor league baseball team based here in Kalispell, and they're going to be doing a lot to support the camp specifically. So I
Is
got
it
to hang
single
out
A?
with them. Huh?
Is it
Uh,
single A?
I don't know which actual league they're in, but
Yeah.
um, I met with their communications director, gave him a tour of the food pantry, but he wants to come out and tour the camp, so that's cool. Glad to get some new sponsors and new donors coming in. Lots of cool stuff going down. We like it.
The Glacier Range Riders. Is that them?
Yes, yep. And actually, in talking to him, they're one of their biggest rivals is the Missoula Moose, and he said, "I want to know how we can get a moose donated so that on the day we play against the moose, we can serve moose burgers because that would be funny." I'm like, that would be hilarious, actually.
Um, yeah. Let's see. Let's do that. Let's do this. There we go. There's the logo of the Glacier Rage Riders. I mean, very wholesome looking. I wonder what they're gonna do with the bat. It almost looks like they're gonna like, I'm gonna get you, boy. You know, that kind of thing.
What's significant about that bus he's sitting in? Those are the buses that you can ride around on at Glacier National Park.
Oh,
So
maybe he's going to he's gonna take that bus down to Kalispell to run out the Antifa that has accumulated in
they
Kalispell.
they have accumulated in the area. Ironically, I don't know how, but they have. So anyway, that's
Well,
what we got going on here.
that's pretty cool. I think a glacier range rider's baseball hat would be a good little souvenir to have.
I have to see what
Um,
I know a guy.
yeah. All right, Watcher, how you doing, brother?
Doing all right, doing all right. I'm gonna point it out because if I don't, I don't think Chad will notice just because the pictures are so small. So, Chad, I'm gonna put something on the screen, and I want you to all take a moment and spot what's different. What's different? Look at that Bucky's hat.
I wasn't prepared for that. I was looking away and I looked back and I was like, oh, that's me. I was like, the thing that's different is the other YouTube motherfuckers aren't on.
Yeah. But
By
yeah, the Scott has had merch mailed to him from the States.
from
He's one of us
Little
now.
Bucky's. Yeah, that's right. My daughter sent me that, so you done good when you can talk your daughter into going to Bucky's, and not only does she go to Bucky's, she like enjoys going to Bucky's. She's like, Dad, if you were there, you would have wanted to eat the fudge because.
Actually, Scott, yeah, we need to get that one.
So did you see the? Hold on a second.
I did, and it looked like it arrived in good condition, that was good.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that one.
Um, Corgi Actual, right?
Yeah, I think so. All right, no, Earl of the South, yeah, Corey Atchell, right? All right, so he, here we go. So he received his care package, his Doorkickers care package. He got both cover A and cover B, and he got the Doorkickers Panzer Demon. So this is book 1 and book 2. You know what I just realized that we forgot to do, Watcher? There's supposed to be a big Doorkickers logo in that black area of the folder of the poster.
Huh.
I mean, I missed it too, so it's not on you. So anyway, yeah, but I think it looks fucking sick though. I'm just really pleased that this is finally going out to people, and everybody seems to be digging it.
I'm very happy that the technique my wife came up with for trying to make sure the poster didn't get a hard crease appears to have worked.
Yeah, that's what I had noticed that too. So yeah, I think that's great. All right. So anyway,
there is one other note.
Is there
one lucky person of that last batch that just went out? The copy of Panzer Demon that they received is a much rarer cover than it was supposed to be. So enjoy that.
Why you just did that on your own?
No, that was a complete accident, and it was my helper who did it, and I didn't realize until I looked after, and I was like, wait a minute, I have more of these books that I'm supposed to have. What happened?
What is it? The orange color?
It was an orange. Yeah, they got an orange. Yep.
Okay, because the black and white one is the one that's like uber rare,
hyper rare. Yeah.
I think I only got 50 of those made total. So, I kind of want to. So anyway, so that has gone out, and we are the print file for Land and Sea should be coming in any day now. Doug has just finished that up. As soon as it comes in, it's going to go straight to Watcher. Watcher's going to send it straight to the printer. And then Watcher, would you reckon about a 2-week turnaround before you get the printed books?
I would say because we're running up against
3
Christmas.
weeks.
We're running up against Christmas, so shipping's going to be crazy. We will see, but I would bet that if we don't get the print order in by the 20th, I would bet that we're probably not going to see the books till after the Christmas period.
Well, just put the order in, and we'll see. But the I'm hoping to get the print file this week. So, because I gave him everything he needed from me. So, anyway,
to be clear, the printer should be a 2-week turnaround. It's a question of it's in FedEx and God's hands after that.
Yeah, right. The delivery, right. Anyway, part 3 when? Well, I've got part 3 all kind of. I got the plan for the story. It shouldn't take long to write it, but the key thing is getting Doug and getting him. If there's going to be any time at all between when we ship this and the next Land and Sea, because ultimately I'm obligated to do a Land and Sea first, so it may be later in the year when that would be a possibility. So we'll just have to see. But yes, Doorkickers 3 that's the plan.
Well, my question, and you feel free to just say shush instead of answering, but Peregrine, when?
Yeah, I know, right? That one. So Actually, that I can honestly say that one's not on me. That's on the other guy in the pair.
Oh, I know it is. I'm just wondering when we get to do it. Damn it.
Well, I mean, like I already sent him my initial story draft, and he's supposed to then look at it and say what he wants to, because he's supposed to co-write it with me. So it's like I don't want to just.
I like how they're giving you the Sibley treatment. Part 3 win.
I know, right? Well, I mean, it's better than this is so fucking late. I'm never gonna buy anything from you ever again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
true.
Oh, Visor Kaisen over on X says Doorkickers finally shipping. Good grief, it took you long. So how's the Land and Sea comic coming along? Blaine has published 20 books since you crowdfunded the comic. That is not wrong.
I know. Every time I come around, Blaine puts out a new one. So
Blaine is a machine.
He is a machine.
He turns caffeine into prose.
By the way, that person we were talking about before the show has a rifle and a shotgun. So
excellent.
Yeah, they will be very well placed. All right. Hey, by the way, I don't want to say any names, but a friend of the show is having a hard time. So, this is like one of those relationship, family kind of struggles. So if you're willing to say a prayer for somebody that you would know if you heard the name, but I don't feel comfortable saying the name. Just say a prayer for somebody who needs help, who's going through some family difficulties. So.
And as long as we're there on the more public side, you should probably toss Nate the lawyer in on those prayers.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's going. Did he have his surgery already?
He had emergency brain surgery a few hours after he posted that video.
Yeah, I saw the picture of like had the X on his forehead, and it was like right before they shave his hair off.
Yeah, man. So.
All right. Anyway, so a lot of prayers to go out. Prayer for me to get the next Doorkickers or Land and Sea out. So, all right, gentlemen, let's jump into odds and ends, shall we? So, did any of you guys pick up on this? Did you guys get any kind of?
I won't lie to you. I was busy.
Found or
no, afterwards, I saw everybody freaking out that it had happened afterwards because I was too busy doing other shit.
So it was happening for me in the evening, my time. So it would have been really early morning, I guess, for you guys. Yeah, it was I guess 1300 UTC or whatever, So yeah. So right here, it says here that whoever did this, it was at 3:30, 3 a.m. Or something like that. So what we're talking about here is Cloudflare outage sparks global internet chaos. So Cloudflare suffered a major internal service outage that disrupted multiple products globally, triggering widespread failures on major sites like X. The company says it does not suspect a cyber attack, but acknowledges that errors, slow performance, and login issues were still occurring. Corefix has been deployed, but Cloudflare cautions that it will take more time to stabilize the system. The latest Cloudflare system status. So, Joe, this is one of those kind of single points of failure, when the internet works, it's great. But the problem is one company can literally have a hiccup like this, and hundreds of millions of people across the world all of a sudden can't use, for instance, X. If I want to find out what's going on, if the breaking news, I go to X, right? And if I can't get on X, then it's what the fuck's going on, right?
Yeah. Well, interesting and ironic note, right? The whole point of Cloudflare is that before Cloudflare, all kinds of websites would be taken down due to a DDoS attack, right? That is what Cloudflare is. It's a technology to prevent DDoS attacks. And now, because it's so centralized, you can just take down all of those websites at the same time by attacking Cloudflare. That's it.
Yeah. Solid.
Well, the irony is, and I believe them when they say that they don't think this is from an external attack. Because I bet the fact that they're saying that lets me think that they actually know exactly what happened, and they know that their shit is on the line.
I'd think too, though, if I really wanted to bring down the internet and cause problems, I'd found something like Cloudflare, do great at it for a couple of years, and let everybody want to use my system, and then flip the switch. But hey, what do I know?
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, down detectors.
Low-key LARP is right. Look at who's in recruiting at Cloudflare. Cloudflare. It's competency crisis. Yes, I bet they speak Jeet.
Let's see. Binance's co-founder and former CEO commented on X about Cloudflare. Blockchain kept working. Okay. Because the blockchain's not on fucking Cloudflare. X remains disrupted. Yeah. Look at this service outage map here. If you go down a little further, one of the tweets that's shared. Yeah, that one. Yep, that's where the people are, oddly enough.
Crazy.
I'm going to have to press doubt on this map because I'm seeing red North Korea, and everybody knows that North Korea doesn't have the internet.
Correct. And the area in Brazil where it showed one, not a lot of people there, and the area in Nigeria where it shows one, there's literally no one there. So...
A low-key LARP, thank you very much. 5 gifted subs over on Rumble. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. All right, going back. Internal error 500. Yeah, I don't. That's the first time I'd ever seen that one, I think.
500? That happens all the time.
No. I guess that's. I'm thinking of the. Yeah, that's the normal one. That's what's the area that we used to always get on the old internet? 404. That's what it was.
404 is the most common still, but
Yeah.
500 you get sometimes when 500 basically means something in the site's broken most of the time.
But a lot of things run off the internet that you wouldn't expect. So this is the thing that kind of makes me hesitant. A lot of systems are internet-based systems, like financial systems and healthcare systems and things like this. So that's the thing that would kind of worry me.
That's one of the problems that we've created for ourselves as a society, right? Over-reliance on the free flow of electrons.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it's an interesting problem that you have. It's a problem of modernity, but ultimately, Joe, this is just another piece of the infrastructure that is susceptible. I mean, okay, so let's assume nobody's trying to take Cloudflare down. It's a competency crisis, right? Or it's something broke. Like the cockroach got between the wrong 2 wires, right? Let's just say whatever. It just goes to show you that's another piece of infrastructure that somebody who's determined to disrupt the world could go after in a very serious way that would cause permanent damage and disruption.
Yes, we've made ourselves vulnerable. Yeah.
All right. Here's another one that is not so much of hey, the boogeyman's coming to get you kind of story, or hey, this is another war in a weird place you never heard of. This is more of a kind of a seasonal, like in the Army, we have seasonal safety briefings. So you have to do like winter training in the winter, and you have to do hot weather training in the summer. So I thought this was a good opportunity for us to talk from a prepper standpoint. Like, winter is no joke.
Use that term, but
what's that?
Okay, prepper.
Yeah,
Prepper's a derogatory term meant to make you sound crazy.
I don't know. I don't actually use it that much, but I've never really had an overly kind of derogatory. I mean, maybe it's just the world that I live in is completely disassociated.
You should read the preface to my first book. But hey,
I've read it. I've read it before, so that's why I can't believe I can't remember anything about that. Winter comes in like a lion. Meteorologists warn of an incoming cold blast. So, Joe, I tell you, whether it's hot weather or cold weather or just adverse weather, uh, this is something that a lot of people who kind of ready themselves for some kind of black swan, a lot of times they don't think of this kind of stuff, or it's they're ready to fight off the people that are coming after them, but I only have a light jacket to do it in.
What was the movie about them about the temperature dropping suddenly? Was that The Day After Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it one time, and then
It was just that silly, right?
right.
But it's an inverse tornado because it got so cold. What? That's not a real thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's time to. Why is Barney on there?
I guess because of cold.
Just kind of threw me off.
I know, right?
It is time for you to be swapping out some of your preparedness gear for wintertime stuff. I went to the other day and changed out my camo into my snow camos, and
Yeah.
I put some extra layers in my car to have available. Throw a sweater in there, throw some of those pullover pants on there. I'm going to tell you what the biggest overlooked piece of gear for the wintertime is: leg gaiters. I can't speak highly enough about them. Keeps your pants from getting wet and that wetness traveling up and pervading through all of your gear. Buy some leg gaiters and keep them available. I went with the U.S. Marine Corps issue outdoor research ones because they're solid, and I wear them all winter long here. Right, so if you're driving to work and your car breaks down and you slide off into a snowy ditch, you're going to want some leg gaiters before long. So
what's kind of hard to believe is how effective it is just blousing your pants when you're in weather. When you're in the snow, because most people are wearing loose pants that go past down to their ankles, right?
Yep.
But if you blouse your pants into your boots, right, and you've got say 8-inch boots or maybe 10-inch boots, which I think that's what the standard military boot is. Like that keeps the end of your pants out of the snow, and it makes a huge difference if you're going to be outside for more than an hour or so.
Well, you can learn about the medical concept of capillary action by letting your pants get wet at the bottom, and you will learn that makes them wet everywhere, right? Yeah, you got to have that. Not a bad thing. Or throwing a whoopee in your car, having just a couple little extra layers of keeping some thermal insulation between you and the outdoors. You got to be ready for that. It's also a good time to go through all of your stuff and check dates, right? Make sure your food doesn't need to be rotated. Like I keep some food in my car. Might want to rotate it. And because it's wintertime, I will now put it in a cooler. You might think, well, that's weird. Why would you put it in a cooler in the wintertime? It will keep things from freezing.
Yeah.
And therefore causing you all kinds of other problems.
One of the biggest things that I learned, not necessarily for snow camping, but just camping outside when it's fucking cold, like that 40-degree morning or that 35-degree morning, right? Well, even if it is down in the 20s, but you're dry, right? Because I don't know how. I mean, I've spent entire winters where I didn't see a fleck of snow, but it still got down to the 20s. And that is just like I would always have a whoopee inside my sleeping bag, just to kind of, it's just so I can kind of take it to wherever I'm cold, right? If I'm cold up top, I can kind of wrap it around my top, and if my feet are getting cold or whatever, I can wrap it around my feet just to kind of give a little extra insulation wherever I needed it, or if I just needed it on the bottom, so I have an extra layer between me and the ground. But so when you time to get up in the morning, that's the worst time because you're nice and warm inside your bag. And so if you've got that whoopee, right, you basically unzip your bag, you sit up in your bag, but the whoopee is over your head. So you're looking, if you seeing from the outside, you look like a whoopee colored, ghost sitting up in your sleeping bag. But what you've basically got is you've got a pocket of that warmer air. And even if it's like only 50-degree air and it's 30 degrees outside, that makes a huge difference. And you can do everything. You can put your boots on underneath there. You can do a lot of stuff under that, in that little pocket. And that makes it a lot easier to go from the sleeping bag and just your personal hygiene. It just makes it a lot easier to do a lot of those basic getting up in the morning things.
I'll tell you, that's where the Helicon Tex Swagman roll comes in. It's essentially a whoopee that you wear. It's a whoopee poncho. Got a head thing on it and everything. You just put that on and then get inside there and be prepared. Makes a good thing. That's where the wool ponchos come in too. You put a wool poncho between your whoopee and your sleeping bag, you are going to be plenty warm all night long. So
100%.
I'm glad you brought that up. Be prepared, because I'm going to throw my wool poncho in the car just so that it's handy. So, I know everyone bought into the wool poncho thing is because they thought it was going to be some sort of thermal mitigation. Note, it's not after about 3 minutes. But they are a great thing to have. A wearable wool blanket is a great thing to have because it's going to insulate even when wet. As those of you who are at the recce course may have learned, because everything got wet at the recce course.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, Squishy Hunter. I don't know how many times I've had just my pants. First of all, in the Army, a lot of times I would just sleep in my pants. The only thing I would take off would be like my socks, just so because I think that's good hygiene, right? You don't sleep in your socks. Like if you keep your pants inside your sleeping bag, but you just kind of lay them down on the bottom, you keep. I mean, they're warm right there next to your body. Yeah.
Squishy said that in the chat too. Put your pants underneath. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he said underneath your sleeping bag. I don't know. It stayed inside my sleeping bag with me.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though. Taking your socks off to sleep. Throw on a pair of Buffalo Wool Company sleep socks. They're wool sleep socks, and you're going to be solid. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, about the only socks I recommend if you sleep in are wool socks, like natural wool, like whether it's merino or alpaca wool. Socks are generally pretty good, and the cool thing about them is even if they're wet, when you wake up in the morning, first of all, they'll stay fairly warm even when they're wet. But when you wake up in the morning, they'll be totally dry.
I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret that's only for CFC fans. Buffalo Ron, the owner of Buffalo Wool Company, is going to be sending me a box of Buffalo wool socks to hand out to people at classes over the next few months for free. So it's going to be cool.
That's one of the nice thing about coming to classes. Joe's a very generous man. So,
hey, we'll hang out. We'll stay warm.
Chances are, if you come to one of his classes, you will leave with something you didn't intend on leaving. And I don't mean like a case of herpes.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, Joe, check this out. So my wife said the other day, I guess she was close to the door during the show because there's a bathroom right on the other side of the wall here. And she says, do you cuss a lot on your show? And I was like, well, just a regular amount, like I don't know more than anybody else. She goes, it doesn't sound good when you cuss. It doesn't, it doesn't sound natural. I was like, what are you talking about?
I know I actually like almost never do. And so Mrs. Tactical Wisdom tells people that, when Joe swears, that's when he is absolutely mad because he never does it. So anyway.
Well, it's just one of those kind of things. Like when I'm around my guy friends, I'll cuss, but like around the family, I don't because I just got in the habit from the kids and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I still feel weird, when I say profanity around my, around my children. So.
Jay Clark, herpes, radio pouch, bayonet wound, something. That's correct. That's correct. I think that you left with at least 2 out of 3 of those from camp, but I'll let everyone figure out which 2.
I tell you what.
Yeah, you got
things still won't go away, man. Speaking of herpes. She she's right. All right. Trump remarks fuel U.S. political storm over Nigerian schoolgirl abductions.
Imagine arguing with Donald Trump over whether or not it's right to kidnap Christian schoolgirls. I mean, that tells you that you take politics too seriously, right?
Yeah. Nigeria's new army chief has ordered troops to fight day and night to recover 25 schoolgirls abducted in a deadly raid in Kebbi State, an attack that has become entangled in the rising U.S. political tensions after claims from Donald Trump and his allies the persecution of Christians. You know, Joe, it's crazy. There's no problem with persecution of Christians. Never mind these 25 Christian girls who were grabbed and kidnapped by Boko Haram or I don't know whoever it is. A top Nigerian general has ordered the troops fight day and night to rescue 25 schoolgirls who were kidnapped in the Northwest. Has been seized upon by Donald Trump's followers in the early Monday morning raid on the secondary school. The latest abduction of school children in the Muslim-majority northern Nigeria, more than a decade after Boko Haram's infamous kidnapping of 276 girls. By the way, if I remember correctly, Nigeria is majority Christian, correct? The actual population.
It's 50-50.
Is it 50-50? I thought it was. I knew the Christians were high, but I didn't know if it was the Muslims were that high. I thought they were. Anyway, point is that like, why are they going out of their way? I mean, it's like yes, America, help us, help us with this problem. No, they're like no. Makes me think there's a lot of shit going on here in the politics of Nigeria that are not what you'd call transparent to the external Western viewer. And Nigeria's had a lot of problems for a lot of years. So let's see, it's become another flashpoint in the U.S. For the U.S. By the way, this is a France 24. So if you're wondering about the kind of the wonky political language in this. Like right here, the U.S. right following, I'm surprised they didn't say the U.S. far right, Joe, following Trump's threats of military intervention over alleged killing of Nigerian Christians. You must continue day and night fighting. We will find these children, he said, the general said.
I like how they say alleged killing. There's actually no doubt whatsoever about the killing of Christians.
The killings, exactly
it's
right.
Not alleged at all. It is 100% fact.
The only question is like, by how many multiples of 10 is it, right?
Right. Ironically, the name of the town where these girls were kidnapped is Epic. By the way, the town of what? MAGA.
MAGA,
sure
right?
MAGA, but Make America Great Again town.
The police rushed to the government girls' comprehensive secondary school in the town of MAGA. The gang had managed to scale the fence and abduct the students after killing the school's vice principal. Kebbi is caught between the jihadist threat from neighboring Niger and criminal gangs who loot villages while kidnapping and killing residents across the north of Africa's most populous country. Now, if you remember, it is in the Quran about taking slaves being a-okay as something it's okay for you to do. Just so you know where they get that idea from. U.S. tensions. Kebbi State police told the AFP on Tuesday that the abducted school children were all Muslim. The Republican Riley Moore of the U.S. House of Representatives in a post on X urged his followers to pray for the girls, echoed Trump's claims of persecution of Christians. Joe, since they're Muslim girls, I guess it's fine. We don't worry about it. They're Muslim women. So has nothing to do with the Christian genocide going on. So there's that.
Yeah. And I would challenge that the jihadist threat comes more from Chad than Niger, but hey, what do I know?
No, I'm just kind of scanning this for more. Drag me outside.
The good thing about this, there's a little side story to this. 2 girls have escaped from the Boko Haram camp. and have made their way back to civilization. So there is some hope that those girls will be able to lead authorities back to the other girls. So that's kind of a new thing since this story came out.
Yeah. Well, I'm always kind of I have to remind myself this, but I'm always surprised to remind myself that the official language of Nigeria is English.
Yes, and the official language in Niger is French. So.
Yeah, they just kicked those suckers out. It's almost like, we'll keep your language, but we don't need you no more.
That's why they're Nigerians, not anything else.
Don't get yourself in trouble, Joe. All right.
They're Nigerians. That's what they are, instead of Nigerians.
Speaking of French things, let's talk about tactical-wisdom.com.
Why not? Sounds fantastic. What would you like to know? Would you like to know more?
Yeah, would you like to know more? That's exactly.
Our big push right now is training. We've got wilderness survival or winter survival coming up here in a couple of weeks. Also, before that, if you happen to find yourself for some reason in Northwest Montana, December 5th through the 7th, I believe. Yep. I will be at the Kalispell Arms Show. I'll have a bunch of books and radio pouches and all kinds of other stuff available. And I will sign whatever books you bring. And we'll be talking about all the good things we have coming up at Camp Ponderosa. So anyway, keep that in mind. Then we have the winter survival. And then in January, we're doing a few classes. The 9th through 11th, winter fieldcraft, taking the fieldcraft skills that we learn normal in the normal class, and then adjusting it for wintertime, right? What gear you need, what movement techniques you need, how to better camouflage a camp or your position in the winter. And we might throw in a little bit of firecraft into that. Then after that, another combatives weekend, which is always good. Yogi and I actually planned out doing a whole combatives room in one of the buildings. So we'll have that done by then. So that'll be kind of cool.
You getting more mats?
Yeah. Well, we have a bunch of mats that we're sitting there that are like more weight room mats, but they'll still work, right? They'll still work for what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of cool. And actually, we had somebody just donate a whole bunch of weights. For those of you who come to camp, a lot of people talk about, hey, do you have a weight room? We have a whole bunch of exercise equipment, treadmills, bicycles, stair steppers, all that stuff. But we just got in a bunch of weights yesterday. So, yes, there will be weights.
That's awesome. That's
kettlebells. So, good stuff. We've only had one person ever vomit during the combatives class. You know who you are, Bailey, young lady. But it's going to be kind of cool. So that's pretty awesome. Come on out. Take a class. Do something fun. And I will be finalizing that article on the winter change out. Just we've had a busy week here, and I haven't had a chance to get it done. So,
all right. Let me get to our brush beater profit center ad here. Brush beaters. Let's see. All right. So tonight we're facing trouble brewing here in the U.S. and China. We'll just be in China. Aggression in the Pacific, espionage at home. The dragon is flexing its claws. As domestic fractures widen and Beijing's shadow grows, it's time to harden up. Enter our sponsor, Brush Beater Store, led by Matt, aka NC Scout, with training and gear to counter the Red Storm Rising. When internal strife meets external threats, Brush Beater's RTO course arms you with secure comms to stay coordinated through protests and potential invasions. Keeping signals clear across contested zones, advance with the advanced RTO course, mastering signal intel and electronic warfare to detect Chinese hacks or domestic disruptions. The Tactical Combat Casualty Care course prepares you to treat wounds fast, ready for for urban unrest or island hopping fights. The dead-on accuracy against distant foes, the Kyber Optics MDO delivers a close emitter red dot with shake awake and 50,000 hour battery life. Perfect for South China Sea standoffs or homeland defense. Fortify now at the Brushbeaters Yanceyville, North Carolina training facility, or shop brushbeater.store/collection/trainings or collection/optics. Use code CFC10 for 5% off courses, optics, medical gear, or anything else. Orders over $100 shipped for free. Big thanks to Matt at Brushbeater Store for backing the council on future conflict. Visit brushbeater.store, enter code CFC10, and stand ready against the dragon. Now back to the show.
Yeah, a couple of side notes quick beforehand. First of all, if you want to see an epic 1-2 punch takedown, Matt and I both destroyed some 30-year ham radio operator on Twitter this morning, and it was glorious. So that's funny. But if you do happen to find yourself in the Yanceyville store in the next 2 weeks, ask to see the axe that is seasoned with Puerto Rican blood. They'll know what you're talking about, and it will make everyone laugh. So do that. And I'll say it again. I know I said it on Monday, but for the money, those Kyber Optics scopes are fantastic. The 3 to 18 by 50 is the best hunting scope I've ever used. The ability to dial into 18 power to count antler points, and with it having a 50 millimeter objective lens, the ability to see clearly at dusk is pretty incredible. Good stuff.
Yeah, one of the things that you shared, Joe, because I'm looking through your timeline right now. Maybe this is we're talking about domestic stuff first, so maybe we could just go right into this. Sorry to go off script on you here, Watcher. But I think this is important because I saw this in a different story that I thought about using today, but I didn't put it in there. So there's the link right there. Joe, you shared this. Federal court blocks Texas from using new congressional gerrymander in 2026 in midterms. Ironically enough, and so this Blake Neff post says, if you need to start to grasp why civil rights law is such a disaster, this is a good start. California changing its House map to elect Democrats will be fine because it targets Republicans, while Texas' new House map is getting thrown out because it's racist. Repeat this reasoning thousands of times over in courts all over the country. Turns out the Constitution just mandates left-wing victories on everything. Who knew?
My point to this is that this is a states' rights issue. The state has the right to decide what its districts are. That's just the way that it is. That's been codified in our Constitution and in our way of doing business forever, right?
Right.
So I don't get that. I'm going to nuke what appears to be some sort of a bot over there.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you show up and your first post is you sharing your Rumble channel, I mean, I don't know if that's a.
Anyway, I treated this as a states' rights issue. Again, single district judges don't have the authority to change the way a state does business. It's just not the way it works.
Yep, that's right. Watcher, I mean, what's your kind of take on this?
The same take that I've had forever, and that is that we can either figure out a way to remove these federal judges, or we can admit that the country's over and proceed from there.
I know what my vote is. It's actually a middle-of-the-road position where we retake things and restore the constitutional roles that we've had. Eliminate anything that's not in the Constitution. Go back to the way it was supposed to be. Pretty simple.
Yeah. When are we going to get rid of the Department of Education? Wasn't I promised that we were going to get rid of that?
Oh, yeah.
Point to where that's enumerated as a power of the federal government. It's not.
Well, it's Jimmy Carter's good fucking idea, Ferry, is what that was.
Come on, Linda McMahon. You got this.
I mean, the policies of the Trump administration on that one are not bad. They're doing a lot to kind of pull them out of, but they just need to shut the fucking lights off and close the door.
Yep.
Well,
all right.
Too is this? This is the proof of the fact that the deep state exists. The administration doesn't matter. The federal government continues to do whatever it chooses to do.
100%. 100%. Like, not only the deep state actively protects the federal government from the administration.
Yes.
All right. NGO-backed groups trained to obstruct immigration arrests in North Carolina. Joe, like when you train to disrupt federal law enforcement, that's gotta be like some sort of a conspiracy, maybe, or
seditious conspiracy. I know that's where you were going. I was just shortcutting it.
So that's what we've got here. Let me. It's been said over and over for the past few years, progressive activist groups sabotaging ICE operations are far too organized to be grassroots. It always seemed to know exactly where the immigration authorities are going to show up and make arrests. Someone is creating these mobs from thin air, training them, funding them, and letting them off the leash to attack when the opportunity presents. So here's my take, Joe. Like, all this stuff is, generally speaking, covered under kind of speech and whatnot until you actually get in the way of a law enforcement officer. The problem is when you are organizing it, you're like, and it's not just organizing the speech, it's organizing the action, right? The call to action. Get in there, stop them, grab that person being seized, pull them out. Put your body between the two, right? I mean, that's where this kind of crosses the line, at least in my view.
Well, I want to point something out that in the wake of 2020 and in the wake of the Michigan Fednapping hoax, many states passed laws banning paramilitary training or any training to obstruct the government that could lead to a civil disturbance or be used in a civil disturbance. Ironically, every state that passed those laws has forgotten about those laws when it comes to training people to resist ICE. Those laws those classes fall in direct violation of those laws, but nobody cares. But I couldn't teach land navigation in Michigan because it could violate their paramilitary training law. This one does, because it's actually training you to resist the government. But they'll allow it and say, no, that doesn't count. Only when right-wing people do it.
Right.
That's how we know America is cooked at this stage.
Let's see. Let's play this video here. This is Rachel Maddow now and their coverage of the training camps organized in Charlotte as federal immigration officers arrive on the ground to arrest illegal immigrants.
You've taken away from being at these trainings and actually being out in the field in the face of the Border Patrol being here?
I think obviously watching someone.
I don't know what happened. It jumped to the middle of the video. Let me.
The city of Charlotte, North Carolina, organizers and community members were already doing on-the-ground work in preparation even before Trump's latest attack started on that city over this weekend. A local immigrant rights group called Siembra North Carolina, started a project they call Defend and Recruit in Charlotte. They've published guides, they've published videos for what to do if federal immigration agents show up on your block or in your community. They've made posters for people to put on their doors. I got to say, this is my personal favorite. It's in the style of those live, laugh, love signs you'd see at like Home Goods or whatever. Look what it says. In this house, we live like there's room for everyone. We laugh at least once a day.
Let's go ahead.
A judicial warrant.
Skip ahead and find it to the training.
Let me find it.
It's a 6-minute video, so it's a long video, but
I wanted to point out just use of her language, or her use of language. Trump's attack. Enforcing the law as written is not an attack. It's literally the role of the presidency.
Yeah, you can want it to be an attack all you want. That doesn't mean it is an attack. Don't let facts get in your way of a good narrative, Rachel Maddow.
Here we go.
Tonight, the group behind those resources held a community training at a local church in Charlotte. MS Now's Jacob Soboroff was there. And got to look at the turnout. Look at this. Not a single empty seat in this church tonight on a Monday night. Over 300 people showing up to learn what they can do to try to protect their community from Trump's agents. who again started their attack on Charlotte
They're
this
not
weekend. People tonight did role-playing exercises talking about how to conduct safety patrols in your own neighborhood, how to react if you see Trump's masked agents beating people up or snatching people off the streets. Jacob spoke to one of the organizers tonight, a pastor from a nearby town, about what it's like to see his community show up like this.
These are all people who fantasized about, if the civil rights was going on nowadays, I would be at Selma. I would have marched with Martin Luther King.
No, I'm sorry. Did you see that crowd? No,
No.
Half of these people were at Selma.
No. My point is they are fantasized because that's. Let me be honest. A young person has no idea what fucking Selma is. These are people who were just not old enough to have been there, or they weren't in line, or they listened to all these great stories of how awesome it was to march with back in during the civil rights era in the 60s, right? So this has become this kind of wet dream fantasy for these older boomer, progressives. And now they finally got their chance. They've got a fascist leader who's taking racial justice away from these poor immigrants and asylum seekers, right? I mean, so this is they're creaming their shorts in order to can I get involved in this? But ultimately, they're basically playing at the behests of the narco gangs, right?
But I'm going to go ahead and quote Mike Tyson on this. Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. I mean, it's one thing to have this training, and you're right. These people are fantasizing about this. I'm doing something. I'm resisting. But the first time they hear the clack of a expandable baton popping out in front of them, they're going to turn and run in fear.
Yeah.
Right? It's one thing to train for violence. It's another to actually be confronted with violence in front of them.
These are the people. These are tomorrow's people who get shot in their car because they had a gun. When they tried to block off a ICE agent, right? This is
an interesting point because vehicle attacks on ICE agents are up 1,300%.
Yeah,
ramming attacks. That's actually you can get shot for that. And the reason that the fact that only one or two people have been shot amazes me. There should be dozens of people shot because a vehicle is deadly force. And the ICE agents are actually showing incredible restraint, despite what the media is saying. There have been something in the last 3 months, something like 70-something vehicle rammings of ICE agents. And the fact that only 2 people have been shot over it is incredible to me.
Yeah, I think you got a good point there. Let's see. We've seen across the country anti-ICE mobs have followed a nearly identical playbook for disruption, provocation, sabotage, stalking agents, blocking roads, creating general chaos in order to impede the arrest. In some cases, direct violence is used when activists think they can get away with it. These tactics have been employed extensively in Chicago in the past month. Disruption groups threaten the safety of ICE agents, creating the necessity for deployment of the National Guard, which Democrats have called authoritarianism. Let's see what this clip is here. That's a pretty big crowd.
I don't know. It's a 15-minute.
Ambush ICE.
Get back! I will shoot you.
Oh.
You're gonna what? You're gonna shoot me?
Wow. Look at how many activists there are. They're surrounding this car, and the car was hit. Look at this. Their car was rammed. These guys were under attack. And the same people attacking ICE don't want them in their community when they go to look for their assailants.
Note, federal law enforcement vehicles are heavily reinforced. Notice all the damage to her car and literally none to the law enforcement vehicle.
Yeah. I don't know. I think when I see these illegals getting round up, I think it's like they had every chance to get the fuck out of the country.
What's funny is everyone thinks that officer was way out of line by threatening to shoot people and pulling out a pistol. But you have the right, if you're faced with a crowd of 3 or more people encroaching, you have the right to go immediately to deadly force. He was well within his legal capabilities there.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Joe. They want to give the police all kinds of, by your command when they're going after the right-wing people. But as soon as they turn their attention on anybody who's left of center, oh boy, the authoritarian fascist
is all these people screeching about, oh my God, you're going after our neighbors, didn't care when they were going after your neighbors after January 6th on virtually no evidence other than mere presence in the city, right?
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's.
Well, let's be fully honest about that. They didn't just not care; they were sexually aroused by it.
Yes.
Well, so these trainings are going on, right? And who is providing these trainings? Well, this is interesting video here from old Pete St. Onge here about who is providing some of the money for these training events.
A new quote bombshell report finds billions of dollars went from European charities to fund American protests, ranging from BLM riots to climate and immigration protests, also mostly peaceful, to the marches against Trump's crime crackdown just last month. Who needs hostile regimes funding riots when Europeans do it for free? The numbers come from Americans for Public Trust and finds nearly $2 billion came from charities based in Britain, Denmark, the Netherlands, and Switzerland, including one generously funded program that, quote, educates judges about climate change, and millions from the UK-based Children's Investment Fund for BLM riots, because who would fund the riots if not the children? The money is laundered through American pass-throughs to dodge so-called FARA laws against foreign influence, while allowing them to pass the money to unsavory recipients, including Democrat political campaigns, lobbying, and referendum campaigns. So it is a shell game that burns American cities and buys elections for Democrats. Now, a lot of the money is effectively seed capital that then goes to lobby additional grants from American taxpayers, force multiplying the climate lawsuits and educating judges. Keep in mind, this is just the billions APT found. The bad guys are very good at accounting and lawyers. There's probably a lot more in dark money networks. Of course, it's not just European billionaires trying to topple our government and cripple our economy. Both Russia and China pour government money into American left-wing activism. For decades, Russia funded climate activism in the U.S. and Europe to cripple competition with Russia's energy exports. Now, with the bonus of sapping the West's ability to fund the Ukraine war, China has spent billions bribing American universities and think tanks to talk up the Chinese miracle, to carry China's policy water, and to attack Trump. This comes to at least $5.5 billion China injected into American universities, both to buy friends and to steal intellectual property that was paid for by American taxpayers. Intellectual property theft, the U.S. Trade Representative estimates cost us $600 billion per year. So at Sex brought to you by I Trust Capital, one of the big...
All right,
so
that's good.
I'll point out, remember the big protests there in the Dakotas about the pipeline?
Yeah.
That had Russian money all over it. And it was successful because the pipeline didn't go in, right? So...
yeah, that was, I think, definitely Chinese and Russian influence operation going on there. And I just remember the Tiger Swan guys got such a bad rap for that. Like, now they were probably doing some Momo things too, but still, I mean, they were literally being antagonized by, foreign student or left-wing mercenaries, essentially.
Yeah.
All right. What the fuck? Sorry, I just saw something on my timeline. I was like, that's about the wildest thing I've seen in a while. All right. And then, this is my favorite one of the day of our domestic protest in Dearborn. This is I think this is local news, right? For Michigan Michigan Live. Protests in Dearborn, Islam activists clash with Muslim residents. So this is local news. So I would assume they're going to be very kind of pro-Islamic, American. A pair of dueling demonstrations unfolded along Schaefer Road and Michigan Avenue today as anti-Islam activists and pro-Muslim counter-protesters clashed in front of a heavy police presence before moving towards Dearborn City Hall for the evening council meeting. The city, home to one of the largest Muslim populations in the U.S., has recently become a repeated target for out-of-state activists who falsely claim it operates under Sharia law. No, the Sharia law is in that community. And if you don't know about it, then wake the fuck up. The tensions began with Jake Lang, a January 6th rioter who has described himself as a political prisoner, arrived on Michigan Avenue attempting to burn a Quran. Lang tried several times to ignite the book, holding it up with a lighter, but counter-protests repeatedly knocked it from his hands. At one point, Lang stepped into the center of Michigan Avenue and tapped the Quran with a slab of bacon before a Muslim counter-protest snatched the book and ran off with it. Lang's group later marched towards City Hall, so that guy got bacon grease all over his hands. Let's see. He went to City Hall for the 7 p.m. meeting. He basically, the chair of the Democratic Party, Michigan Democratic Party, released the following statement. He attempted to burn a religious document is unacceptable, an act of hate. Okay, so I want to see that same statement from him next time somebody burns a Bible.
You won't. You won't. They're okay with that.
Dearborn is a beloved multicultural city with tens of thousands of people who are.
Dearborn is not multicultural at all. Let me just say
that. Who are cherished friends and families and neighbors.
So Dearborn is singular culture, and it's not American. Dearborn is 100% Muslim city. If you go along Warren Avenue, all the business signs are in Arabic, street signs are in Arabic. I mean, you can't call it multicultural.
Yeah, monocultural almost. Let's see. A Dearborn police officer told M Live that there were 7 police cars stationed nearby to keep the situation calm. At the same time this was happening, Michigan gubernatorial candidate Anthony Hudson had previously organized a separate protest without affiliation to Lang, walked with supporters along a sidewalk. Hudson and Lang's demonstrations were unrelated, but appeared in the city on the same afternoon, drawing a mix of students, activists, and counter-protesters on both sides of the Michigan Avenue. What's the significance of Michigan Avenue?
It's just the main street through downtown Dearborn.
All right.
I'd be more worried if they did their protest on Warren Avenue, which is which we tend to call Little Gaza. So
yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. Hudson and Lang's demonstration was unrelated, but appears to. Let's see. Hudson, a truck driver from Grand Blanc Township, had initially planned a protest to take place in Dearborn, dubbing it the American Crusade against Muslim infiltration and Sharia law. According to the news release from the Michigan chapter on the Council of American Islamic Relations. So, by the way, did you see that Texas designated them a domestic terror organization?
Well, it's because they are.
Well, it's true, but I don't know what the good that's going to do Texas, but maybe it allows them to take action if CARE does anything inside Texas.
And for my Michigan people on there, you got to forgive Scott. He doesn't know that it's Grand Blanc, not Grand Blanc.
I think you may have missed the action that happened immediately after that declaration, Scott.
Which one's that?
They declared them a terrorist organization, and then they immediately said, hey, by the way, here are 71 different acts that you've done that are fraud. Also, whatever that city thing is, here are multiple different things of fraud that we are now that we've now discovered for your Epic City. That's what it is.
Yeah, Epic City. Have you seen the map of I think it's like Houston or San Antonio or Dallas or something like that, of all the mosques that have been built inside the city it's like 46 mosques or something like this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yet after visiting 3 mosques in the area, Hudson declared that there are many false and misleading narratives about the Dearborn being spread, and all he's found from Muslims in Dearborn was hospitality.
You know why I said that? Because he's running for governor. The only reason why I said that.
Right. Further stated that he was opposed to outsiders coming to Dearborn with plans to burn the Quran. It's because you don't have any balls. As a result, Lang spray painted the word "cuck" on Hudson's campaign bus in Dearborn, Canada, selling out from visiting mosques.
You know what?
Promote ahead of peers. That's what we say in the military when something like this happens.
Yeah, promote ahead of peers.
I hate it, and I feel like this is. I'm sorry. I feel this coming because I've seen it come way too many times. This guy is way too based for something either true and or not true about him that is awful not to come out in the very near future.
Well, when you do something like this, if you've got any fucking dirt out there, it will be coming out.
That's what I'm
shortly.
saying. Yeah.
And if it doesn't come out, it means it's not there.
Based as fuck, though.
Yeah.
One Hudson supporter, Kelly Elias, said she drove several hours from northern Michigan because she wanted to see the situation firsthand. I just wanted to come and see what the mainstream media is reporting, if they're lying to us. I'm Arabic, too. I'm from the God of love. I don't want to hurt anybody, but we're in danger, or if there's any problem, I want to know. If not, let's be peaceful with each other and solve this problem. We need to work together and be just. Love each other. It sounds like she's like repeating the lyrics of the song.
Yeah.
We don't need any problems, anybody with hate. Let's see. Elias described herself as culturally mixed. I'm Lebanese, Syrian, Italian.
With a name like Elias, she's none of those things. You're more likely Greek. But hey, whatever.
I've always thought it was a wonderful area. I've had friends here. I've worked in Detroit. Who was the one who like claimed to be a big pro-Turkish person, but when they got their DNA done, they came up as like 98% Greek? There was somebody famous, like I can't remember who. I thought that was really funny. Let's see. To show the American people that we are a religion of peace and we can coexist. Abrahamic religions have coexist in previous times. Yeah, as long as you either converted or you paid the tax. If you couldn't live freely in a Muslim society without doing one of those things. If you didn't, you then got the third option, which is death. And then, oh, by the way, as great friends as Saudi Arabia is clearly with the United States, how many churches have we been able to build in Saudi Arabia in the last, say 25 years?
Well, there's a whole bunch of taqiyya in that next paragraph, and I want to point something out as you go along it. But
all right. The other side of the street, Muslim and pro-Palestinian counter-protesters rallied in response. Let's see. To show American people that we are a religion of peace, we can coexist with the Abrahamic religions. Let's see. Everybody comes from some sort of immigration, and we're happy to be here. We pay our taxes. We go to work. We try to provide for our family.
Can you tell me any place where Islam has been in power and has existed peacefully with other religions?
No place.
Because it doesn't happen. The one place where they did was in Jerusalem under King Baldwin, which is why it's my logo. But what happened? The Muslims came and attacked and destroyed the city and booted everybody.
Yeah, well, the Christians had to be in charge for everybody to be able to live together.
Exactly right. So when they're under other laws, they act that way. But when they're actually in charge, it doesn't happen. And if you really believe Sharia is the jurisdiction here in Dearborn, when you walk in, you see a monument in regards to Miriam and the prophet Jesus. Okay. Yeah. Calling him a prophet proves that Sharia is more in effect than actual facts, right? Jesus was not a prophet. The Islam believes that Jesus was a prophet and that Miriam was that Mary was a virtuous woman, but they don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God. So there is a Muslim community patrol. So there is Sharia, but it's only enforced against other Muslims. They don't force it on others. But there are Sharia patrols in Dearborn, just as there are in New York City.
So let's see. We've got here. So this is the next one is a video of him at the Dearborn, Michigan City Council meeting. It's Wall Street Apes. He says Dearborn's now 55% Arab Muslim population has a huge amount of visa overstays and illegal entry. These people shouldn't be legally here. Unauthorized immigrants in Dearborn's Arab community include percentage of Dearborn foreign-born population 35 to 50%, roughly 16 to 32,000, are likely unauthorized, i.e. illegal. Visa overstays is 40 to 50% of the unauthorized total, so 4,000 to 8,000. Common for temporary visas from the Middle East. National overstay rates for Yemen and Iraq nationals are 20 to 30%, but higher established communities like Dearborn due to family ties.
Could I point out that he would get a lot more traction if he didn't wear a bulletproof vest to these things, right? Yeah. And by the way, that's Condor garbage tier empty, no plates in it. Knock it off, dude.
So why even wait? Exactly. Like if
He's
you're not going to
actually create an image and a look, and it's dumb. It actually his message.
Yeah. All right.
It's so performative, just like all the people who are kind of like clickbait, like clout chasers. It's always performative for them. So
yeah, he's just trying to get some social media likes. And
that said, he may say everything correct. It just would come off, like you said, a lot better.
The point is, if he wasn't wearing that, just take off that garbage vest you're wearing, and just talk, and you would get more traction. You wouldn't look like a clown, and people would take you more seriously.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
President Trump, send ICE. Send ICE into Dearborn. These people have overstayed their visas. They're H-1B chain migration invaders, and they have come to this country.
All right, we're going to get struck for that.
By the way, he's also wearing his plates below the level of his heart, which is actually kind of stupid.
Yeah, you gotta.
Should I say we're going to get thunderstruck for that?
And Swishy, yes. We can waterboard people with nog. That's the only good use for it. So
here's another one without.
Not even a chuckle. I thought it was a decent pun.
I'm sorry. I was getting this other one.
They're looking to oppress women.
Loose strap.
They're looking to destroy everything that makes America great. President Trump, send ICE. Send ICE into Dearborn. These people have overstayed their visas. They're H-1B chain migration invaders, and they have come to this country to destroy our way of life. We know exactly your laws in your book about lying to our faces, pretending to be Americans, wearing your suits. But that doesn't happen anywhere else where you guys are in charge. There are 53 Muslim majority countries, and in all of them, it is tyranny, destruction, it is shithole living. We have to call it what it is. You guys don't live like we do. We don't want you in our country. We will come and eat your shawarma in Somalia, okay? We don't need it here in Michigan.
I mean, it's pretty funny.
Can we point out, though, that cop is ridiculously large?
He is a big boy.
That dude is like Watcher level Nephilim over there.
Can I just say the only place I've ever had shawarma in my entire life has been Syria, so I feel like I did it right.
Listen, though, Dearborn has some of the best shawarma you're going to find in the world. It's fantastic. Go to Al Shar right at the corner of Beach Daily and Ford. Great stuff.
You know the only thing that made the shawarma better was like the 65-cent Turkish energy drinks that we were drinking. Now, I mean, talk about you got the shakes afterwards because it probably had like real fucking meth in it or something. All right.
No, Squishy, it's made from goat, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Let's see here.
People have been eating goats longer than they've been eating cows. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
All right, go to the Dearborn police officer refuses.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Do you want me to just play it, or do you want
yeah.
All right.
is that you said I could go into the station later and file a report. He's in black bloc. You're never going to find him again. You will never find him again. The detective will not find him. I promise you, I've been in this situation before. You're never going to find him. He's masked head to toe. You will never find him again. Yeah, that is shitty police work. It's lazy. So you know that a crime happened, and you're gonna let it slide because why? Then go arrest him.
Then I'm gonna let it slide.
Okay, find me somebody who can.
You know what though? I'm not going to.
Okay, yeah, find the police report.
Because I had this happen to me with a Michigan State trooper when I was assaulted by Antifa. Said the same thing. Hey man, we're not arresting people today for that. Otherwise, they'd be tied up just doing that, right?
So I can go assault him then. That's okay then. Then I can go
they let you do that. So when an Antifa guy raised a baton at me, the guy was wearing a mask. All you could see was his eyes. I told the trooper, and he goes, "We can file a report, and they'll go find him." I'm like, "No, they won't. He's literally right here." And the cop's like, "It's just me." I'm like, "I'm not going to let him beat you up, man. I already disarmed him. Just grab him. Committed a felony assault. I have his baton." No, man, we're not going to do that. Cops just aren't going to get involved anymore. This goes to my theory that I pointed out that should a civil war actually occur in America, it's going to be right-wing militias versus left-wing militias and the government sitting on the sidelines and picking up the pieces, arresting whomever they can every once in a while just to say, gosh, we did something. But for the majority of the time, they're going to sit on the sidelines, just like Ahmed here is going to do. So...
and we missed the next part too, where he says that he can't go to make that arrest because he can't leave his station. And then if we fast forward here just a bit, you can see that he immediately leaves the station when somebody else calls him over. Just gone.
Who called him over? Did you get a call on the radio or something?
No.
Yeah, he's no longer there. Huh.
Hold on. Wait till you see. So now he's hanging out with
the protesters.
Yeah.
So I'll guarantee you what happened. This was live streamed, right?
Yeah.
So he got a call on his radio and said, "You need to walk away right now and come over here. We're going to replace you on that corner." They wanted to get him away from the camera. So, and Jay Clark as a personal phone call. Oh no, that was his sergeant saying, "Get away from that corner." And they'll put somebody with the last name of Smith or Johnson on that corner for a little while.
Right. All right. Let's see. Oh, by the way, we missed the bacon slapping incident. Let's that because it looks like almost the exact same corner here. Let's I got it here. Private chat.
Okay.
This one's only a minute, so we could probably watch the whole thing. Slapping it with a
Hey, that's an attempt for robbery.
Yep.
It looks like a successful one.
We saved the car. Okay, buddy.
Hey, listen, man. Let me just say that wrapping your head wire around your holster, not a smart tactical move.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I like how BG on the scene is literally everywhere where, like,
He actually lives right near there still.
Yeah, I was going to say he's from there, right?
Yeah. He's from Dearborn Heights, but yeah.
All right. Watcher, I think this is one that you recommended to us here. A little Tom Holman interview.
Yeah. And I hate to just be the hey, let's watch clips show, but in this case, Holman speaks for himself. Here you go.
Last question here. Apparently, an illegal alien from Uzbekistan was arrested driving an 18-wheeler in the state of Kansas. Illegally entered in February of 2023 and wanted in his own country for belonging to a terrorist organization. What do we know about this, or what do we need to know about him?
You know, Bill, you and I talked the last 4 years. I've done your show, a million times. I said the Biden administration was lying to the American people, and they said everybody they released in the country was properly vetted. They weren't. I talked to several whistleblowers, and Border Patrol said they were forced to release people quickly so there wasn't overcrowding, so they can say nothing to see here, no border secure. They released before vetting even came back from the FBI. And as you know, most terrorists in this world, you can't find in any database unless they're on the battlefield and had a retina scan done by DOD, unless they're part of a T3 investigation. Yep. We don't know who all the terrorists are. That's why they should have detained them as required by federal law. Federal law says if you enter the country illegally without proper documentation, you shall be detained. Not maybe, not think about, not released them to an NGO. You shall be detained. And that's what President Trump's doing. Most secure border in history of the nation right now because we're following federal law.
Okay, Tom Homan, we will speak again.
Let me point something out. No, they didn't lie. He was properly vetted. They knew exactly who he was, and they let him in anyway.
Yeah, he's here on purpose.
Yeah. All right.
That one went out of order. I'll just get rid of that.
Let's see. All right. So the last one is this Charlotte, North Carolina story.
This is crazy. Yeah. So in case you guys haven't seen, we'll play a tiny bit of this clip, but multiple elementary schools and high schools in Charlotte, North Carolina are reporting that a whopping 65% of their students are absent now that Border Patrol are conducting raids nearby.
We are learning new details about how the presence of Border Patrol in the Queen City is impacting learning at the area's largest school district. For the second day in a row, students at several schools walked out in protest of the Border Patrol deployment here in Charlotte. But an educator now tells us that's not the main reason classrooms are empty. Queen City News anchor Will Lewis spoke with a teacher who says the uptick in absences is a direct result of Operation Charlotte's Web.
David Gillespie says the last 24 hours.
How did I know he was going to have a man bun? How did I know?
Have been tough.
I don't represent the CMS district nor my school.
But he's seen what 2 days of Customs and Border Patrol agents taking more than 130 people into custody.
I'm just sharing my opinion as a teacher in the Charlotte.
Man bun on head, opinion disregarded automatically.
Yeah, it's like there's certain things that kind of take your credibility away, and a man bun is one of them.
Especially on top of your head, like a woman, right? And well, here's the thing, and I pointed this out before the show, and I'm going to point it out again. If that many of your students are out, you have a problem, right? Because they're illegals, you have a real problem. And it detracts from the educational quality for the native-born children who already speak English. You're slowing down the learning of everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, if 65% of your students are illegals, you should lose 65% of your funding.
All right. Let's see. I think that's the last one in that section. Yeah, this is crazy. Just the amount of just stupidity that is just piling up. And we haven't even been talking about the weekly terrorist attacks, because essentially every attack that is politically motivated in America becomes a terrorist attack. And it's almost like there's so many. And granted, they're not like bombings and things like this or shootouts and whatnot all the time, but they're all kinds of like. Joe, what was the percentage again? Vehicle assaults against ICE agents?
1,300.
1,300%. Every one of those is a terror incident.
Yeah.
Every single one.
It should be, but they're calling it resistance. For the record, it's literally sedition. Attempting to stop the enforcement of federal law by violence is sedition.
Yeah.
And but they won't charge them that way. And it's interesting. They're trying to up the confrontation, and that's literally how you start civil wars. So
that's exactly right. Moving on to our next topic. Go ahead, Watcher.
Oh, I just wanted to say just an important palate cleanser before we move on. Observation that I've made. Since we renamed it the Gulf of America, I can't help but notice that hurricanes are no longer fucking with it.
Yeah, that's true. They're scared of it. Either that or the the Gerald Ford in the Gulf is scaring away the hurricanes.
That's exactly what it is. It must be our weather manipulation technology.
Oh no! The hurricanes. The hurricanes found out that we put a bunch of Marines in Puerto Rico to defend it. He's like, "Fuck that! I'm not fucking with Marines." All right, Lance Corporal Veteran for $5 says, "Kids don't walk out on protests. Their teachers let them out. Kids act like it's a fun day skipping school. Only a handful of kids are radicalized by teachers." Yeah, I think that's right. I think the teachers are one of the kind of key problems in America. If I could be honest with you, not just in the case you're talking about, but just in almost all cases.
Yeah, as has been noted. Let's see.
Oh, Elon's in the White House. He's back in the fold, gentlemen. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right. Let's see. Chinese spies using LinkedIn to target British lawmakers, MI5 warns.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know why it took me this long to realize it, but we basically did all those networking tools that we use to make networks of terrorist groups or non-terrorist groups, but just like who knows who and who's talking to who in the Middle East. It turns out we did it to ourselves and we made it public.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like there's all these kind of really useful tools to live our lives. And like one of my favorite tools is Street View on Google Maps. You can just drop the little man anywhere in the world that they've had a Street View camera go down, and it'll show you the street and blah, blah, blah. Joe, I couldn't think of a better street level recon device.
LinkedIn literally tells you who you need to target.
It's unbelievable. An alert, MI5 said that in an alert, MI5 said Chinese Ministry of State Security was using websites like LinkedIn to build relationships with parliamentarians in an effort to collect sensitive information on the UK to gain strategic advantage. It's like I've always said, it's not James Bond super spy. It's like Charles Kim times 1,000, right? It's just a bunch of very low level spies, but it's like it's one of those kind of things. You throw enough numbers at the problem, and you'll always get something. Let's see. Lindsay Hoyle, the Speaker of the House of Commons, circulated that MI5 alert to members of Parliament and warned that Chinese state actors were relentless in their efforts to interfere with our processes and influence activity at Parliament. He listed 2 headhunters known to use LinkedIn profiles to conduct outreach at scale on behalf of Beijing. Let me speak plainly. The activity involves a covert, calculated attempt by a foreign power to interfere with our sovereign affairs in a flavor that of its own. In favor of its own interests. The government will not tolerate it, Security Minister Dan Jarvis told Parliament. The Chinese embassy in London dismissed the claims as pure fabrication. Of course they are. Joe,
Oh, let me translate that. Pure fabrication and malicious slander means, yes, we absolutely are doing this.
Actual fact, right.
And I want to point out to everyone that, see, it's not just other languages that Scott butchers. He did it to English too.
Dude, I'm so sleepy right now. Like I've already caught myself falling asleep when Watcher was talking. It wasn't because Watcher was boring. It was because I was fucking tired.
It's because you're God's eepiest warrior. I know.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't gone to bed a minute earlier than 2 a.m. any night this week.
I know, poor guy.
Let's see, and it's my own fault. I mean, it's not like I'm laying in bed and I can't go to sleep. It's because I'm fucking staying up. Because of two men, Christopher Cash, a former parliamentarian researcher, and Christopher Berry, an academic, were charged under the Official Secrets Act of 1911. They could only be prosecuted if the information they passed on was useful to an enemy. Because the British government had not labeled China an enemy, the prosecutor said they had to drop the case. Joe, can you fucking believe this? Well, they're not an enemy.
But they're just spying on us and trying to steal them we have and want to beat us throughout the world. But they're not an enemy.
Exactly. Yeah. See, it's almost like the law. People think the law is a suicide pact, you know. It is not. It is not a suicide pact. You don't have to let the enemy. This is why you can't let the enemy use your First Amendment rights and things like that to destroy you from within.
Yeah. Great point, Caravaggio. Spies are spying. Incredible news. Breaking. Spies finna spy.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 50 Cent Army, right? You know, the Chinese, you know, the Wolf Warriors and all that kind of stuff.
Wu Mao.
These nuts, 69. Yeah, well said. Well said. Actually, I think I follow that guy.
Well, part of the problem here is that the Brits are part of this power play that the Chinese are making. Everything the Chinese have done for quite a long time. Every outrageous move they've made, every provocation, the Brits have we can't possibly do anything. It's because they're on board with it. They also push the Sinicization of the West harder than almost any other nation. Like, the Brits are at the heart of China leaking into the rest of the world.
Let's move on to the next one. I like this lady here. She's I can't remember what her position is. Like, she's a spokesperson, I think, for the but she might have something more substantive than that. Her name is Kimi Onoda. Let's say a reporter asked Kimi Onoda about the China stopping tourism to Japan. Onoda responds by telling them, "Stop basing your economy on countries like China, and things like this won't happen." And she's 100% right. Let's listen to what she has to say in Japanese. If you would like, I can pause and do the subtitles here. No, we don't need to listen to her. I'll just do the subtitles. I think China stopping tourism is a form of negotiation. So I'll refrain from expressing. But I'll refrain from expressing various personal feelings. What's that?
Spit it out, Scott. Come on, man. Having a rough time.
I'm going back and forth here. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what. In any case, toward countries, China, that immediately use economic pressure whenever something displeases them. Relying too heavily on China creates not only a supply chain risk, but also risk to various aspects of tourism as well. Personally, I think it would be good if everyone kept risk reduction in mind on a daily basis while running the economy. Joe, risk reduction. Can you believe that somebody in the politics is thinking about risk reduction to their own fucking economy? This is shocking.
It's hurting the fly lice market. Is there really a lot of tourism from China to Japan?
Well, now the Chinese have a lot more money. Like, for instance, Jeju Island in Korea was like swarmed with Chinese. I don't know what it's like now, but COVID kind of knocked back a lot of the Chinese tourism in East Asian countries.
Scott, I didn't see the headline for the next story until just now. Oh Holy fuck.
Yeah, you didn't see the. Oh my God, this is a good one.
Jesus. Oh my. Joe, did you see this?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, but yeah, it's crazy, right? Interesting.
Oh crap. Okay,
For-
so for those
It is
China-
a
yeah.
$5 one over on YouTube, by the way.
Oh, let me go. Is it which one is it? Is it Lance Corporal Veteran? Yeah, I got that one.
Oh, you did? Oh, huh.
Yeah.
Guess I missed that.
Yeah, that's where we're talking about the radicalization of teachers.
Oh yeah.
All right, Chinese firm bought insurer for CIA agents as part of $1 trillion spending spree. For years, Washington assumed China's outbound investment flows mainly into developing economies hungry for infrastructure money. But as scrutiny tightens across the West, it becomes clear that Beijing's financial reach extended far deeper into wealthy nations, like farmland around fucking military bases. Go figure.
This is so much worse. This is
it's way worse. And far earlier than most policy makers realized. One early warning came in 2016 when Jeff Stein, a veteran journalist covering the U.S. intelligence agency, received an unusual tip. Wright USA, a small insurer that specialized in providing liability coverage for FBI and CIA personnel, had quietly been acquired the year before by the Fosun Group, a Chinese conglomerate, with reported ties to Beijing's leadership. Someone with direct knowledge called me up and said, "Do you know that the insurance company that insures intelligence personnel is owned by the Chinese?" Stein recalls, "I was astonished. The concern was immediate and obvious. Wright USA held personal information on some of the most sensitive employees in the federal government. The question in Washington became not what the Chinese buyer intended, but who might ultimately gain access to the data. Newly released records reviewed by the BBC indicated that the Chinese state banks helped finance the acquisition, routing a $1.2 billion loan through the Cayman Islands to enable Fosun's purchase." So it was purchased fraudulently. So you know that it was not like, oh, we're buying just a bunch of companies and that just happens to be one of them. That was a targeted economic hit.
Well, what's funny is that
economic.
They felt a need to say with ties to the Chinese government. There's not a company in China that does not have ties to the government. It's in the law, right?
If you have
Chinese government has to have an ownership stake.
Yeah, if you have 10 employees or more, you have to also have a commissar in your company. China will conquer a country. China. Why conquer a country when you could buy it? I'm sure that's somewhere in Sun Tzu.
That's literally what they're doing in Africa. They're buying it, and then guess what they're doing? They're immigrating all kinds of Chinese workers there. Then all of a sudden, you have Uganda, right? So
every person involved in the approval of this decision or the decision not to derail this in any way possible needs to be investigated immediately.
Yeah. Let's see. Stein's story broke in Newsweek and soon prompted a rare inquiry into the Committee for Foreign Interest of the USA, the Treasury-led interagency panel responsible for policing foreign ownership risk. Within months, Wright USA was sold back to American owners. Neither Fosun or Star Wright USA, its new parent, responded to requests for comments. High-level intelligence officials say that the episode was among the cases that pushed the first Trump administration in 2018 to significantly tighten U.S. investment screening. So at least the government did the right thing. When it found out they had a fucking hole in their swing, they fixed it.
But I guarantee you, if you do a lot of digging into Star Wright USA, you're probably going to find that it's not exactly
Chinese owners, right? Exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I got a low interest loan through a Cayman Island holding company in order to buy this. Part of the broader shift as the U.S. began to rethink 2 decades old presumption that Chinese capital flow posed few national security risks. Look at this. Top 15 wealthy countries receiving Chinese investments. The United States tops the list with $202 billion.
And Jay Clark's right. The horse was already out of the barn. On day one, that company extracted all the data it wanted.
Yeah, 100%. New research.
The funny part of this number before we move on.
Yeah.
you're right that probably a massive portion of it is Chinese government investments trying to own us and break us in various ways. But the rest
Notice the three countries that get all that money.
Joe,
Joe,
you interrupted.
But yeah,
Hold on.
oh, it's all right. You might not have heard me, but the rest of it is the rich in China trying to flee to the West, being unable to move their money in any other way besides making investments in foreign countries.
Well, apparently, that's one of the reasons why, dollar, stable coins are very popular in China.
Yes. Well, after the crackdown on Macau, that's one of the only ways to get money out.
The places that China can get the resources they need, or who are most likely to resist their moves in the South China Sea, are the three biggest countries they're investing in. Why? They want a hand in your industrial processes for sabotage purposes, or to know what you're up to.
So they essentially they can just hoover up everything that you do.
Well, your Arctic boy, if that Canadian number seems real low, remember that's
because India already has it locked up, and China already has everything they need in Canada, right?
Hey,
yeah,
your Arctic boy,
you got to say Canada is basically a small U.S. state spread across.
I was getting ready to say the exact same thing. You got to remember, you guys are like pipsqueak. So like $2 billion is like $2 trillion to us.
Keep in mind too, who is the actual commander in chief of the Canadian Armed Forces? It's not the Prime Minister of Canada. It is the King, and they're getting the money in the UK side. So.
I saw. Evidently, there's. By the way, this is just kind of an aside. Evidently there's a lot of videos on YouTube about this over the last couple of weeks. So maybe I need to look into it. But I tell you what, man, there's a lot of people in Canada that are getting closer and closer to the point like we just need to either disassociate from the federal government, or B, we need to look at exploring new associations. And who else would Alberta newly associate with than, say Montana or the United States? So my daughter was watching that, and she said, "Don't your friends live just right across the border from there?" I was like, "Yes, they do." She's like, "Do you think they'd make it a state?" And I was like, "No, they'd have to be territories because there's no fucking way in hell we're going to give a bunch of Canadians." The ability to put senators in the Senate. No fucking way. And if Canada gets, all of the Canadian provinces would have to come in together.
So yeah, here's the sectors that all that money's going into, by the way. Mostly mining, but also energy infrastructure and agricultural infrastructure, security and transportation, real estate.
Yeah, so, not only do they want the mining to be focused on their country, but they want to own the mining in your country.
Yeah.
Let's see. Western governments have since moved aggressively to strengthen screening mechanisms over inbound capital. In the UK, the United States, and the Netherlands, regulators have derailed or unwound deals for fear of Chinese buyers could access strategic sensitive technologies. The Dutch government recently intervened in the operations of Nexperia, a Chinese-owned semiconductor firm. It's actually a Dutch firm that was bought by the Chinese. Citing concerns of chip technologies could be transferred to its parent company. The move effectively split Nexperia's Dutch operations from its Chinese-based manufacturing firm, an extraordinary step in a country long known for economic openness. That's exactly what foreign companies, even if it's like a European company that comes to, say, build military gear in the U.S., they have to have a completely separate Chinese wall essentially between the U.S.-based operations and the foreign operations. Beijing rejects claims that its overseas investments are lies. Doesn't matter. I'm not even going to listen to that. Still, the scale of financing behind many of these transactions raises questions about the commercial intent. Ends and strategic interest begins. Let's see. At first, they thought these were individual initiatives from Chinese company. What we've learned is that Beijing's party state is behind the scenes writing the checks. No shit, Joe. It's all
shocking.
You guys, like, why is it that because we wear baseball caps and we like to shoot guns in the woods, nobody wants to listen to us on the most obvious shit in the world?
It's silly. It's silly.
All right, guys, that's all I got. I'm tired. It's a little early, so I'm gonna call it a night here. Joe, looking towards the end of the week, what do you think?
I think we're going to see an uptick in the violence of the anti-ICE protests in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And I think that we'll see some sort of movement on Venezuela. Those two things are related. Don't fall for the distraction that is Mexico. He just made those comments because it was happening in front of him. Venezuela will be first.
Yeah. What's up, Watcher?
Crap, I just realized that one of the main stories we wanted to talk about somehow got shuffled out.
Which one?
Which
one? The insurrection.
Yeah, you know what? I just wanted to point that out. We were going to mention that in one of them. That video that you all saw. With
I'm sorry,
all the senators and representatives talking about disobey orders. That actually violates 18 United States Code 2387, which is encouraging mutiny or disloyalty among the armed forces. It doesn't require that the order be lawful or unlawful. If you encourage someone to violate an order of the president, you are in violation of 18 U.S. Code 2387. I don't care how carefully they worded the video. They were encouraging sedition. They were encouraging disloyalty. So I'll be interested to see if anything ever comes of it. It won't. Newsflash. But their actions did actually violate the law.
Yeah, well said. Watcher, anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's kind of it. That's where my attention's at. Is I think bigger plays are being made. The hour is later than we think.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, that's all I got. Thank you very much for being here. Joe, Watcher, you guys are awesome as always. Chat, you're killing it. Keep it up. Thank you very much. If you haven't done it already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the link with your buddies. Let them know you're getting some good stuff on over here at the Council of Future Conflict. We will be back on Friday on Rumble, YouTube, and X. So check us out. And until then, stay safe.